What's up, guys? It's Assassin, and I'm gonna try and film this again. I tried it a couple days ago. It's been a while since I recorded the video. Didn't really like it, so I haven't had the chance to do it. But behind me, we have my 1990 Jeep Cherokee, kind of mall crawling, as you can see here. But I'm gonna do the 5 things that I hate about it, and just kind of like go over some little things that I don't personally like about it, and that I think maybe will persuade people on maybe buying one, or help you guys decide if you really want one. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Like, the Jeep's not bad or anything. It's actually really good. They're really capable, and maybe we'll do the 5 things I like about it. But yeah, well, let's just go ahead and get right on into this. So the number 1 thing is they have cooling problems. Most of the time they don't do too well on cooling, especially the older ones, due to like the whole Rain-X motor and stuff like that, how it's all set up. But it's pretty easy to fix that if you just put a fan on a switch or upgrade the fan or something, you know, so that's pretty easy. But you know, if you're just like a high school kid or something like that buying this, and it's kind of cheap, you don't really want to put that much money into it. But if you do it, then you know, whatever. So that's something to kind of like save up for, and just to see if you have that problem with yours. Another thing is I mean, they are fairly cheap. You can find them really cheap. Mine was pretty clean when I got it. It had a couple of dents in the side of it, which is right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. You guys can kind of see the dent on camera right here. Sorry, the Jeep's kind of muddy. We've had a lot of rain lately, and I was playing in the mud. But yeah, you know, mine's fairly clean. It's gotten beat up since I've been wheeling it and stuff like that over the last couple of months. But cleaner ones get really expensive. You know, like mine isn't the cleanest per se. Like, let me flip the camera around and I'll show you guys. But like, mine's not the cleanest, you know. It's a little dirty from wear and tear and stuff like that, but you know, carpet stains, seats are a little worn. Most of the time the seats blow out right here. Like my dad's is kind of bad, I think. His is right here. Right here, they're normally kind of blown out, you know. But my Jeep's not that dirty. Like on the inside, it was actually really clean when I got it. But you know, just with like the wear and tear, sorry about all the mess and stuff like that. But you know, like, you got plenty of storage space and stuff. This back panel is kind of annoying because it doesn't quite stick sometimes. But you know, it's fairly clean. And I got my Jeep for, I think, $900. I found it on Craigslist like immediately as soon as it got put up. I had to go to work, but I asked my dad if he could go and look at it because I was looking for a Jeep, and it's just better because he has one too, so spare parts and stuff like that, you know, so it works out. Because then I can get his handy-down parts and stuff like that. And so that's, what was that, number 2? Is that they get really expensive for like a cleaner one. But if like you're a high school kid on a budget and you want to get into off-roading, there's these out there that are really cheap. Some of them just need like a little bit of maintenance, or people who are just kind of not the smartest or the brightest to figure out what's actually wrong with them. So they just kind of turn around and sell them. Or sometimes you'll get lucky and people just have them laying around and they don't want them on their property or something no more. So they just sell them for real cheap. That's what I did. The story behind mine was, you know, they just had it sitting. The guy taught his kids how to drive in it, and they've all kind of like moved up and gotten newer cars and stuff like that. So it was just sitting. I mean, I've had it a year and a half, and we've done a fuel pump on it. That's the only thing that's gone out. I mean, it needs some maintenance, you know, like brakes and valve cover gasket leaks and like little things. But you know, as a high school kid, that's not that expensive. Even if you have to put a motor in it, you can literally find running motors all over the place, so that's a plus. But this is supposed to be the 5 things I hate about my Jeep, so let's go ahead and get on into number 3. So number 3 for me would have to be the plastic pieces, like door handles, the little button and stuff like that, and the window cranks. This just happened today. I'll show you guys right here. It's supposed to be something like that. I went to go roll my window up when I got home, and it broke off. So so it kind of sucks. So makes it really difficult to roll up and down without it on there. As well as that one is broken. This one in here is missing a little thingy too. So my passenger one is the only one that's good, but they're fairly cheap. They're only like $12.99 on Amazon or something like that. So I'm gonna order some of those as soon as I get a little bit of money. And then also, this is kind of a common thing that happens with these. They just get worn out. You go to push the button because sometimes they get a little stiff. The button just falls in here. So it's just a nice little open hole in there now. So that sucks. And then like the other plastic stuff, like the mirrors, the older mirrors kind of suck, but you can upgrade these to the ones from the newer body style. I believe 96 and up or something like that. Whenever they change to the newer style and you got the newer interior and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and go to, what is this, number 4. Number 4 is the point that it's on a unibody, not a frame. So it makes it kind of weak, and if somebody's wheeled one before that you're buying and stuff like that, sometimes the bodies could be flexed down a lot. The hatches won't close, the doors don't close very well if they did the mod to cut the door hinge so that way you could take them on and off. So that kind of sucks because it creates a lot of flex in the body, and then they're not too clean or too straight. So then when you do lifts and stuff like that, it becomes kind of difficult. So that one's kind of pretty explanatory. So just, if you're buying one, make sure like the hatch closes real good, the doors and stuff like that haven't been cut to taken off, and if they have, make sure they got frame stiffeners, just to kind of help not make problems for you in the future. And then for number 5 is the amount of trimming and stuff that you can do to the back as just like a stock thing where, you know, it's just basic cut and fold. Even when you do that, if you run like a bigger offset tire like I have, a little bigger offset rim where, you know, it sticks out quite a lot in the back, you have a lot of problems with it, just because even after you take the flare off and on the inside and you do the cut and fold, the tire gets locked up in this, and if you have open diffs, it kind of makes you useless to actually do stuff. Because it locks this tire up, so then that tire gets all the power, or it doesn't get it at all, and you get stuck on stuff. The front's a little bit different of story, so it's not as bad. It does still kind of suck because of inner fender well, but I mean, that's pretty easy to get rid of. But like my dad's running the JK rims, the Rubicon JK rims, the 5-star things. And his is fully cut out in the back, and he tucks up into his fender. Mine, after we do the cut and fold and stuff like that, which is probably going to be a video on, it's probably not going to work the same. Probably still going to get stuck. So, but once I get lockers and stuff, it won't be as bad. But that's something, is just the amount of flex in the rear end. If you're into the off-road portion of it, that's something to kind of keep in mind. But I like the big sticky, sticking out tires. You know, they look real good. Like, it's pretty much tucked up into the fender and it's not all the way. And, you know, it still kind of sticks out quite a lot. But, you know, I'm pretty happy with the Jeep overall. I'm probably going to do 5 things I do like about my Jeep in the future. Just a kind of little walk around. You know, I got rough country, long arms, Rubicon Express, leaf springs in the back with rough country shackles. I think it's a 4-inch Rubicon coil and T-case drop. Don't quite have a T-case. The slip yoke eliminator on 33s, and you know, it's pretty budget built. Paid $400 for the tires. My dad traded a clutch and a little bit of handiwork for a friend for the rims. The long arms were like $350. The lift was, well, I originally bought a different lift, so it would have been like $150, but our friend took this off of his old Jeep, and then I got his lift and the coils and the leaf springs. But I had everything for it, and doing it budget with just an add-a leaf and a coil for up front would have been like $150 just to do the lift, and being at 3.5, but now I got 4.5 pretty much. Then I paid $900 for the Jeep, and we put a fuel pump in it, and put gas and oil in it and make sure it's got coolant, and you just run it. So it's pretty much budget built, and if you guys want, I can do a better video on like detailed like how all the parts is and how to like look for it and budget build your XJ if you have one. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. Has been So Assassin. This has been my 5 things I hate about my 1990 Jeep Cherokee, and I'll talk to you guys later.